All right, so students, we're going to talk about positive and negative reinforcement. Now, these are very important when we're using behaviorism to control our classes, because remember that behaviorism is predicated upon the environment in which the students are in, and we're conditioning them to respond to our expectations, our actions, if you will, right? So, positive reinforcements means that we're strengthening behavior by adding a desired stimulus, right? When peers laugh when a child falls out of a chair, right? Children will laugh. That's more tension. Well, we want to diffuse that, right? We do not want to condone that action or give it a lot of energies, or they'll continue doing that, right? A negative is strengthening behavior by removing aversive stimulation, right? So you can discuss the two, and then you can move on. Punishment. Now, what is punishment? Well, that's pretty obvious, right? Normally it's physical in nature, but we'll talk a moment here. This is what I normally do: is say, well, corporal punishment is really taking a step back in Alabama. Alabama is one of the last states to kind of eliminate it, but we have very few school systems utilizing it. And back in about 2008, 9, 10, it had a lot of traction in schools, didn't it? But you're seeing it less and less. But with the removal of corporal punishment, now we are at a different game. And educators will tell you it's very frustrating now, because please be good, please be good, please be good only works for so much time. We bring that up in our conversations in our classes. So I tell them that, say, listen, there is no corporal punishment anymore. And they're like, well, why not? We say the legality part. If you leave a mark on a kid, if there's heat left from a 130 whipping, then you're leaving yourself open for a call me Alabama, situation. So you don't want those, right? So, and then finally, we do show them this. Do y'all remember this guy from the 1990s? This is Dr. Harry Wong. Remember the first 100 days of school? He had great stuff. I still think every teacher needs that book, because it helps your first year teachers think about procedures. He's all about routines and procedures. If you don't teach what you want, they're not going to do what you want. And he kind of drills that in. And he is a classic behaviorist. It's all measurable, right? We've gotten away from that. None of my college kids know about him. It's all kumbaya. We want to see your feelings and how you're doing. So we don't want that. We want this. We want to know about how to do every day. Because I had a hard time with high school because I came from middle school. And you look at a high school student, they look like big versions or almost little adults. And I gave them too much leeway when I first showed up. I was really good with middle school. But when I saw a high school student, I thought they were capable of more maturation-wise. They're not. They ate me up the first 3-4 months at Slocum High School. They had me for lunch because I hadn't figured out mannerisms and expectations on what I should have gave them. So I had to tighten the screws. You know what I mean? Because I was. It was just mentally. I don't know if y'all did that. Did any of you go from middle to high school? Did you have, or you dropped from high to middle? Was there a transitional thing? Heck, I've seen people from grades 4 to 1 go home crying because their comfort level, what they're used to, they know what they know about a learner and they know how to handle that. But when you shift grades, it's not the same, is it? And I kind of tell them that. So as we're talking, this is what we do. So I'm going to stop.